Okay, you will not believe what the masterboard that is the base of these cards was and how many layers it took to complete them. Ugh, this was a journey. Hi, I'm Christine, the artist behind Darlyssa Designs, and I'm happy you're here. Welcome. Hi, everyone. So today I'm going to take this masterboard that we've already created, and I did two at the time. I'll link the video in the description so you can see what I ended up doing with it. But I'm going to take my little container here. You know, I love my little takeout containers with the lids because I can work with them and close them up if I don't finish and I don't want to waste the paint. I've got some matte gel medium because I want the colors that I add to be transparent. And of course I have one of my favorite things. So I have no idea. I have a few ideas for what I want to do. I want to do something really springy and use up some of my flower stickers. But I really don't know how this is going to go because I don't normally use these colors a lot. And so I didn't end up doing what I originally planned with this rainbow board, but I want to see if I can change it up, soften the colors to a little more of a light spring kind of vibe. Oh, hi, little happy face. And I am going to do some blue. I'll use a little of my favorite. It is Brilliant Blue from Artist Loft. This is really thick, so you really don't need that much. And I'm going to take my small little blending brush and I'm just going to play around and see what happens. I'm going to start off with a little bit of this white, and I'm going to, it's actually gesso, and just go in and spread it around. So I'm going to try not to overdo it. I'm going to take a little of this gel here so this stays transparent so that I can spread out this paint that I just put in there without covering up everything that's there. So, playing around with layers. I really am not a huge fan of purple. I know I've already got some pink in there that I'm adding to this blue, so it might kind of lean towards the purple, but we'll see. I don't mind a little purple. I'm just not a fan of a lot of purple. And I want to create a little lighter blue, so I'm going to add a little of that gesso. There's that light blue coming out. Now I could just do a light blue with the glaze, which I probably will try and do here because, oh, you know what? Let me take my good tile out. Okay, as you can see, I added some and then I mixed it in to the pink because it squirt everywhere. But we'll see. And I really want to spread this out because I want to see what's underneath. So I think I'm going to take some deli paper and my little mist here and take some of this up because I really want to see what's underneath. I just want to change the colors. That's better. And then of course we can use that later on. I love using this little blending brush, and I don't want to make it really totally smooth because I am going to cut these up and put stickers and stuff on it, so I kind of want some of this and just play around and do different things. Now I'm gonna take off some of this paint and go back to the pink I want to add a little bit in there. I know, if you liked this, you're thinking, what the heck? What is she doing? I don't even know. But I'm going to cut this up so you're not going to see. I'm just going to go through and do the pink random. I kind of like these, so I'm just going to keep doing that. Cover up some of these plain spots. I just don't want it so much of a rainbow color, so I want to get some of the, and you know what, I'm mixing this blue and this, which is fine. I'll bring some of that in a minute and see what happens there, but I'm just going to just put it right there. And we're going to get a little purple here, but let's intentionally get some, not all of it. All right, pink, and I mean, I have a little of everything on here. Wet this down. I'm going to get it really wet. I'm going to grab a few pieces of deli paper. I'm going to do it on the rough side because I feel like it's going to grab a lot more of that color. Now, this is either going to be a complete disaster and I'm going to start this video over. I want the wrinkles, by the way. I'm going to do it kind of like the jelly plate here, where you just kind of leave it for a minute and let it soak everything up. Let me get another one here. And another one. That looks really cool. We'll have to do something like that. See, sometimes you do things when you're just playing around that give you ideas and inspiration for other things. So here we go. Which one did I do first? This one. So, yep, I like it. So I pulled off all of that paint. That's going to make a great, I'm going to put this down and soak up even more. Cool. There's a little more. Let me get a little more here. That's kind of neat. The trick is making a total mess and then bringing it back to something that looks really good. I mean, I think that's, as far as the papers to use for later, I think this is awesome. The masterboard itself, I don't know. I need to make it lighter and more pastels. Okay, so those deli papers inspired me to do something. And I'm going to just take this piece of deli paper and I'm wrinkling it up. And I mixed up some light blue because I want these lighter spring colors. And I'm just going to place this in here. And then I'm going to use this deli paper like a stamp. And just go over. And I'm going to do this in pink as well, because then I think you can still see a lot of the colors in the background, but I'm getting the lighter, more springy colors that I wanted without covering everything. So yeah, so I didn't blend it in on this side, and I like that. Okay, so this time I got this sponge, which smells like the ocean. But there you go. A huge mess. Get a little pink up here. Trust the process. Trust the process. Because I'm going to cut these up into smaller pieces, I want to make sure there's a little pink everywhere. And because I want to go big or go home, some of it's still wet, and I'm just going to go across it and see what I get, which is really covering up everything that I originally did. And again, I'm going to take some tissue paper or deli paper. Now that I've got it more. Oh yeah, now I can see again what I had underneath. So it's probably hard to see on the camera, but I just still want to see some of that original board. And this just helps bring a lot of that up. But we have it where it has that nice, more of a pastel color on top. So as you know, I don't like throwing anything away. And when things get to the ugly phase, I like to just keep going. So sometimes I will end up with what I originally had, and sometimes I won't. But it won't go in the garbage, and it will look nice at the end. It's very rare that I throw anything that I've started away. Okay. Still want to take a little bit more. I'm going to take a rag and just kind of get some of that wet up. I really like this here. Let me see if I can get it. I got to put my glasses on to show you. I really like this here. That's kind of cool, and you can totally see what I had underneath. It's still not as soft as I want it, which is tricky because I'm trying to blend something that's not nice and soft with all the text and the writing and the rainbow colors to turn it into a soft pastel piece background. But it's fun even if I'm not successful at doing that, because you end up learning things and figuring out how to make different things happen, different effects. So that's kind of cool. I really like that it took a lot of that off. So that's fun. I think I should go with the original plan and just go back and do a gesso over the whole thing, because that's going to tone it down a lot, and probably going to lose a lot in the gesso process. There's that. I'm going to put a little pink on my brush. I like that. I like that little bit of red showing through. Take a drop of pink. You see, straight from the bottle. I'm really on the fly here. I'm going to clean my brush off because I want to do a little bit more of the light blue. I'm liking what's happening here. but I don't want just pink. So I'm just going to come in, and my brush is still wet. And just on the edge of this pink. Kind of soften up the whole. So I still have things showing through, not as much as I wanted, but that's what happens when you play around. And I still think I'm going to get some really cool effects. It's really hard to see in the camera, but you still do see a lot of what was there originally. It's just hard to see because now we don't know what we're looking at. So you're just getting little bits and pieces peeking through. Now I'm going back in and pulling some of that back up. And now I have more of that pastel look, and I'm uncovering a little bit of what was underneath. A little bit more. This is very chunky green. That's okay. All right, so now I'm gonna just go in and add some of that springy green color. I mean, it's really all about just playing and having fun. I've got a little bit of the blue in here with this green, so it's actually really cool because you know I love that teal color. I'm just going to blend it out with my brush a little bit. I want to leave some streaks, and I want to, you still see that brickwork underneath from the original. I stood back and looked at it, and I definitely think we need a little more brightness in here. And I'm going to dip into my gesso because I want it to be a little bit lighter. So I'm just adding a little of this yellow that I had in here. Okay, this video might be a little bit all over the place because I lost my microphone as I was working on these, so I'm going to try and stitch everything back together the best that I can. I decided to make ATCs, and I still have some little random pieces. I've got this piece left over that I didn't cut yet because I really love this, so I might do something kind of oceany with this. And I do love that you could still see the background and what we started. And it's a little more pastel. It's less rainbow color than it was. I normally do 15 ATCs at a time, and I only need to make, I believe, 6 or 7 for this latest collaboration trade group. And I kind of got frustrated with that masterboard and went ahead and cut it before I really wanted to. So instead of, this is just a good example of what happens if you chop up your masterboard too soon. So then you're just going to have to create on these one at a time. So I'm going to push this back a little bit so I have some room to work over here. I'll put these, I've got my little dotting sticks, whatever you call those, I don't know. And I'm going to start with some pink because I wanted this to be a little bit more kind of gardeny. So I'm just going to play around and have fun. Now you can do this before you cut it up, which is a great way to get a little variety and play around with it before you cut it up, which is nice because then you're not worrying about composition. You really don't know what you're going to get. Now, if you want a little more control over what ends up on your whatever it is that you're making, you can do it this way and go ahead and cut it up, and then you have more control over where these things land on what you're creating. I like a little of that mystery. I love going in and creating these. See, I'm just going in where the pink already is. And I like to do one tool at a time and do a little bit on each thing if I'm going to do it this way. So I'm just going in where there's already pink and just adding a little bit. And then maybe go up here into the orange. Now, I know these look a little bit muddy, but that's why I'm doing this with the brighter colors on top, because I feel like it's going to really lighten up the whole card. Again, it's a whole experiment, and it's just me trying to take something that I created that I wasn't really in love with and save it and turn it into something different. And as you can see, it is not an easy process because you really just don't know what you're going to get. But I always find that it's a good way. I know it's really hard to talk while I'm trying to be creative here. A lot of times the stuff that I create off camera come out a lot more like what I envisioned in my head. So, but I do the best I can. So what I'm trying to say is that, what am I trying to say? When you don't know what you're doing from the beginning, like it'll not, I don't mean to say when you don't know what, well, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. When you don't have a plan and you just start doing something to change something you've already created, it really is a mystery. What will happen? But things happen that you could not possibly plan and do. Let's try and be a little bit random on this one. You can't see on camera, but you can see a lot of that original design showing through on this one, which is cool. Yeah, so when you play around and you don't know what you're going to do and you just start trying things happen that you couldn't have possibly planned out. And I learn a lot from that. I think a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm not an artist and I don't know where to start. But you can't learn until you start. And sometimes, like this project, it can be frustrating. But if you just keep going, you learn how the paint works. You learn what your tools do. You find new techniques. And it's great to watch other people because you get ideas. But really, you cannot learn to be an artist or be just creative as a hobby, creative using art as a hobby, I guess, am I trying to say? Until you just go for it. And if you stop every time you don't like something or it's not turning out, then you may not ever get that effect that you weren't looking for in the beginning. I don't know, does that, oops, sorry, hitting the camera, does that make any sense? I don't know. I think there's always a way to save what you've started. I mean, you can't plan for these brush strokes. And where's one that shows through, like this one, where there's stuff coming in from underneath. It's really hard to plan out layers like that. You kind of just have to keep playing and layering and layering. And yep, sometimes you're going to cover up some of your favorite marks, but if it's something you were going to throw away because you didn't like it anyway. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have those coal marks anyway. So that's my theory. Or maybe it's an excuse for why it's an excuse, it's an explanation for to make myself feel better when things don't go well. I think it's true though. You should always just keep going and playing. And you still might end up throwing in the garbage, but I try not to. This is kind of a muddy spot. This one is very muddy. Okay, I got my acrylic markers. That's not an acrylic marker. And I'm just going to play around. I've got white. Oh, here's a green. Oh, let's go in with some of the green. Let's go in with the green here. Those green lines. I'm just using what's on there as a guide. I want more bright colors in here. Okay, I'm going to move quickly on this and just do a little green on each card. I wish I had more. These might end up being really bright and fun. I'm kind of sticking to where it's already green. This is so fun and relaxing. I mean, I will be amazed if these cards come out really cool. So the ladies that are in my group are obsessed with Bridgerton, which I've never watched, but I might have to go back and check it out. I started watching it, and if I remember, the beginning was kind of silly, and that kind of thing I like a little more realistic and historical. But the ladies told me to give it another chance. Okay, this one's quite messy, but that's okay. So I might just do that. Who here has watched Bridgerton? Thumbs up or thumbs down? No, don't hit the thumbs down, but please don't hit the thumbs down button. In the comments, thumbs up or thumbs down. Bridgerton. Worth the time or pass? I'm currently looking for a new series. I just finished watching The Madison. I love all things Taylor Sheridan. Spring, spring, spring has sprung. We went straight from, oh no, there's a big giant blob right there. Okay. We went, oh, and now I'm getting it on there. Okay, I'm going to embrace this and just take some off and keep going. Oh, it is pouring out, this pen. I think I pressed down too hard on it. Yikes. Okay, well. It is what it is. Let's put these up here out of the way so I don't do that again. Definitely have to put some orange in here because I like that orange. So these might end up being a little bit brighter than I thought. Oh, ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, so I do have to say that it is a lot easier to get random random marks when you do this before you chop up your masterboard. But I like to be transparent on Masterboard Monday and show you what happens in real time when you mess it all up and you don't do what you normally do. I kind of like that blue. Let's go back and do a little scribble just to get more color in there. I'm really just going for lightening up these colors and making them more springy. Just finding a little spot where there's not great color. I already did that here. Yeah, just wherever. It's really all about the color here. I kind of like this. I mean, these are going to be like nothing I've ever done before. That one's done. And one more. Let's see. I don't really like that. All right, let me find another color. What are we gonna do? Let's do a little, I know I said I didn't like purple. I'm not a huge fan, but I feel like bringing in a little more purple would be, now what am I gonna do? Let's do some circles. I'm just gonna go for it and just have fun here. So I hope everyone had a happy Mother's Day. My daughter surprised me and brought the grandbabies over while my other daughter got to sleep in, which was nice. She brought croissants. Ooh, I forgot I have a half of an almond croissant left in the fridge. And then last night we were sitting, me and Bob, and just kind of unwinding. And Bob said, you know what? It's Mother's Day. I feel like I need to take you to get something to eat instead of asking you what's for dinner. And I said, well, I don't really have a problem with that. Where do you want to go? And of course, he said, you choose. And I really don't want to get dressed up. We didn't want to spend a lot of money, which we ended up spending more than we planned. But we ended up going to Ford's Garage. And if you didn't know, I do have another channel. I have two other channels. One is just my personal channel that I started years ago. And it's just got family stuff on it. And I took off some of it. And I decided I want to just... Okay, this one's dried out. Ooh, this one's much bigger. I just decided that I wanted to start using that again. Well, I messed that one up. I'll have to glue something on top of that. Now, I wanted to keep my channel, and, you know, originally it was just for family. And I decided to take some of the more personal stuff off. Well, I didn't take it off. I just made it private. And I decided to use my personal channel as more of, you know, my favorite things, what we do, life as a creator. So I did put a little clip of our dinner last night, and that's on Christine Rooks. I'll put the link in the description below. And then my plan for the future is to travel, and I did already start Tiny Town Travelers on YouTube. I'll link them both below if you're interested in seeing tiny towns, and I'm still working out whether I'm gonna which channel things go on. So right now I'm just casually uploading stuff to those two channels, but I need to be creative, and when we go on the road I want to have a purpose. So Bob's gonna retire at some point here in the next few years, and I want to have something that I can work on while we're on the road, and like something to do. So that's why I started that. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm just gonna add some extra little, I like the scribbles. I'm not even gonna pay attention to what I've already put down, because the more layers, the better. I feel like that white is kind of just sticking out there, so I'm gonna just go in and... I know, messy, messy, messy. This is why anyone can do this. And to me, honestly, the more scribbles and mess, the cooler it is. What else do I want to do? I really like that. but I'm not going to go in and do any more paint. Okay, so now I'm going to let these dry a little bit, and I'm going to go look for some stickers and some stuff to add to this. So I decided to use these little frames. I only have 9 butterflies. I'm going to put these on here and just frame these out. I did one. I'm just going to find some interesting spots and just glue these frames down in random places. And then I will have leftovers of these, but I can use them for something different later. Oh, that's cool right there. So I'm not even looking at them. I'm just going to grab them. I'm going to glue the frames down in an interesting spot, and then I'm going to go put my butterflies down on the frames. Now I can't remember where I was going to do that. Let's just do it right here. Yeah, I'm not even paying attention to which ones I'm using. Yeah, that needs a little more pink. You could be a little bit more selective in where you put these. This might be one that I just overlap that frame because I like what's going on down here. I do want that a little bit straighter. It's not going to happen, so. This is kind of cool. Oh, I like this one. This one's got a little damage right there, but that's okay because that's where I'll put the butterfly. So this is also a good way to use up things that are damaged when you're doing layers. I never throw stuff away that I like if it gets damaged because I'm just going to stick it under something. And the cool thing is, then I don't have to be sad when I cover something up that's really nice. I like this one and I like the whole thing, so I'm going to set that aside to use another day. Here, this one needs. This one looks cool with some pink. I like that with a little green showing through. You can always go back and take your pens and add marks afterwards if there's not enough of the color that you want. All right. This is a good one. Oh, that's cool. There's lots of stuff going on there. I think I got these butterflies at the Dollar Tree. So one more, and I like this. Oh no, 2 more. I like this for this one. Very purple. Ugh, sorry. I'm trying to stay on screen and get this done. As you can see, this has not been an easy project, but so I'm just doing this quick and random. This is cool. Okay, so that's our 9. And then of course, when I do finish off what I have, if I create something with the rest of them as a set, I'll come back and show you. I did a little video of the small tags from the last project. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. All of a sudden, it's not putting my videos out there. So if you do enjoy this kind of thing, maybe you want to go through my channel and like some of, or not like, watch some of the things that you, well, you can like them if you want, if you like them. Okay, so that's cool, and these will be saved for a rainy day. Now I'm going to go back and pick out. I like this because it's got orange in here. I'm going to go with the orange theme because this has a lot of orange in it. Now, because these are painted And sometimes it doesn't stick as well as I want it. I'm going to add a little glue to these. And then I'm going to be real careful about where I place them, because this glitter glue is no joke. And what I like about these little butterflies from Dollar Tree is that they lift up. I like that. And then I'll add some words or a quote or something. All right, who belongs to this one? I like that you can see through it because you can kind of hold it up, and that one's kind of cool. That one's kind of cool too. I like this one. Yeah, I like it when they're on the transparent back like that, because then you can see before you actually lay it down what it's going to look like. That's a plus. Right, where do I want this? I think that's kind of cool over right there. Pretty. Okay, now I feel like there's a lot of paint going on here. Although, wow. Let's see, let's do the smaller one on this one. Where should I do this? Oh, I kind of like that small one. Let's do it. Whoops. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with the YouTube algorithm. And I have a couple of friends on YouTube that are also having the same issues. But wow, it's so fun to do a video. Oh, that's perfect right there. It's so fun to do a video and upload it and then watch it. And you guys comment, and it's really fun. Oh, and there's that damage, so I'm glad I decided to stick this right here because I completely forgot about that. There. But lately, it's not been that fun because that's cool. Where do I want this? Where do I want this? I really like this one for this. Yes, yes, yes. But when you upload a video and nothing happens, it's extremely disappointing. But I guess when you have a channel, you just have to expect things like that to happen. And what's weird is that it's not like I'm not getting any views or subscribers. I really am. Yeah, I guess you just have to get used to every now and then oh, you know what? I think I'm going to go with this greenish kind of teal on this one. I'll try and get all the colors in each one, but sometimes they just look so pretty with when you just go with what's there. Pretty. All right. Now I have this one, and this one left. So, do I want more pink in this one? I don't think so. I think I think that one's going to have to be that one, and this one's going to have to be this one, and this one. Okay. We got it. Yeah, you just have to grow a thick skin and just roll with the punches. Hopefully that'll change soon and they'll start putting the videos out there. However, it could have been my fault because I have been posting. Wow, this one's kind of big. All right, I'm gonna put it down here. Posting different stuff, so maybe it's just trying to figure out who I am and what the heck I'm doing. Good luck with that, YouTube. I'm kind of random and all over the place. I can't figure me out. So there's that. Should I do it up there or down there? There's more interest down here, but I feel like I could just put a little quote or something there. And we have one more little guy here who's not so little. All right, where am I going to put you? I think you need to go up here or down here. Yeah, maybe. Huh. Let's do something different and put it up here. I don't know if that was the best choice, but I was kind of putting them on top of the frames, but I didn't want to cover up all this cool stuff. Okay, so now I just need little quotes. So I have these Tim Holtz quotes. And I think I will choose from here. The most beautiful thing. I like this one. And what I'm going to do is just cut it down. The most beautiful thing. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of stick it on here somewhere. Oh, I'm picking up the glue off my fingers. The most. Yep. Okay. Now I'm going to just put a little extra glue on here. Beautiful. I'm going to go back and glue that down. This glitter glue is no joke. You better be sure you know where things are going to go. That's kind of springy. What do you think? Okay, I'm going to go finish these up and then I'll show you how they turn out in the end, okay? Here they are. All the world is bright. The happiest moment. To be cheerful and optimistic, which is what we had to do today. Oops. She wondered if she was dreaming. Yeah, I can't believe I'm finished with this video. I must be dreaming. Perfectly happy. And I am perfectly happy with the way these turned out. I like them. The most beautiful thing. The beauty of this life is that things come together in the end when you persevere. She merely went on with life, which is exactly what I did during this process. And then you end up with something that shine and sparkle. I think they're cool. They're very springy. I think my ladies will love these. I hope that you enjoyed this process and that you see you could take something that was basically garbage that I wasn't going to use and turn it into something completely new. And although there's not much left in a lot of it, there is still the hint of layers underneath, which I think is very cool. I would not be able to create these from a blank page if I didn't use something that was already layered. So I hope that you're able to dig some of your stuff out that you just don't like and recreate it and use it in future projects. I hope you have a really crafty and creative week coming up. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. I did. And I will see you next time. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.